In the state of Texas, self-defense is defined as a situation where an individual believes force is immediately necessary to protect said individual against another's use or attempted use of force. Oftentimes, proving self-defense can be difficult due to conflicting stories and the question of whether the force used in defense was excessive. As with most situations, interspecies crime makes this process even more complex. Such was the case with 19-year-old Gorsadeh Tesser Boyox. On the night of January 17th, 2009, at a bar in Round Rock, Texas, Tesser Boyox was assaulted by 6 individuals, led by a stubbling named Morgan Wiggis, who mistook Tesser Boyox for another Gorsadeh that Morgan believed was sleeping with his wife. Only drunken stupidity could explain how Morgan was able to convince his 5 friends to pick a fight with someone who was all but a tank walking on 2 legs. In the ensuing conflict, Tesser Boyox inflicted fatal injuries on 5 of the 6 attackers, including Morgan himself. Tesser Boyox could then have easily fled to the nearest Gorsadeh settlement, which would have made it a lot harder for Texan police to arrest him due to the LSI laws. But he decided to wait for the police, explaining to them upon their arrival that it would keep better relations between all if he cooperated with them. His interrogation began approximately 90 minutes later.
Hello, my name is Detective James Grotto, and you are?
Tesser Boyox.
Tesser Boyox. Alright, is it alright if I call you Tesser today?
See, officer, we've just met, and it would be a little bit strange and disrespectful for strangers to act so casually, in my opinion.
Alright, no problem. Tesser Boyox it is.
It's an uncanny sight to see such an imposing figure submit willingly to a situation such as this, where he is the one at a disadvantage, when it is easily within his ability to leave at any time. But it is important in Gorsadeh culture to keep as best relations as possible with other species, especially ones they commonly interact with.
So, Tesser Boyox, today we're here to chat about the events that happened earlier this evening.
I understand.
You understand? Alright. So I'm going to read you your rights, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions if that's alright.
Certainly.
So I just want to confirm before any questioning, your memory is not foggy about, regarding any of the events from earlier this evening.
Yep, for
You
sure.
good?
Yes.
Okay.
Normally, when most species are subjected to stressful situations, their bodies produce adrenaline. Gorsadeh brains, however, produce a unique hormone called pectiniferin. Among other things, it allows them to remember whatever transpired during that period of intense stress with exceptional clarity. By confirming this, he has backed himself into somewhat of a legal corner that would make it nearly impossible to change his story in court. But Tesser Boyax had no intention of lying.
So let's hear it from your perspective. What happened earlier this evening?
Alright. So, I was at the bar, just minding my own business. I was out alone. I'm currently away from my usual lodgings. I'm out, exploring, learning about the world before I take my position in charge. And I was enjoying a drink, end of a long day, when all of a sudden, without me having any inkling, they came from behind me, and I don't know exactly which one, but my stool was pulled out, and so I fell, hit myself on the floor, and before I had time to look up or get my bearings, the same stool, I believe, smashed over my head,
Okay.
and then I kept feeling kicking and punching, and I thought, this is, it's a common joke that it's been played on me before when I was a kid with my friends who would, do that, give him a couple hits, let him go. It's all fun and games. And so I was nearly laughing at this point, right? But then I looked up into the eyes of these, I believe, 6 individuals I saw at this moment. And the hatred I saw, for a second, I was even frightened. So, and then from there it just kicked in, I believe that I first extended from my right arm my 3 claws.
Okay, whoa, hold on a second. So you said you thought this was fun and games, but now you're telling me there's claws coming out of your arm and you're ready to attack.
My apologies if I wasn't clear. At first, when they first did it, pulling the chair out from someone like a prank,
Yeah.
that's what my original, that's what I thought it was. Just
Just a
practical joke.
Yeah.
It's been, I've done it to my friends, they done it to me when we were younger.
Yeah.
It's been years, but people drink, they act silly. I thought that's all it was, willing to forgive and forget, but then I realized from their intention, you look in their eyes and you can smell bloodlust, for lack of a better word. They were trying to kill me. Their reasoning, I don't know. I've never seen any of these people before. And then that is when the claws came out.
Okay, so it was in your opinion that they had bloodlust in their eyes, and what if they were just joking around?
I feel like I have a pretty good nose for this kind of thing.
All right.
Considering the way I was raised, at least as someone who we're taught, tell the difference between someone trying to kill you and someone who isn't.
Okay.
Even if it's just for a moment, the facade of the detective holding any kind of power over Tester Boyox crumbles as his demeanor becomes more aggressive. It's most likely that this was an unintentional reaction to the detective's previous question. Due to his future leadership status, it's likely that when Tester Boyox was young, he was given many lessons on refining his situational awareness to help in diplomatic situations, and having it questioned in a situation where he knows he acted poorly would have been at the very least an annoyance.
I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't 100% sure that I was either at risk or going to at risk in the future. So, from my right arm, I extended my 3 claws and cut the one closest to me.
Okay.
I believe that one was one of the stublings, the small people. And then, as I stood up, I threw one of the humans, I believe it was, over the bar and into the wall. Then I turned to analyze my surroundings and realized there was a Cyclops among them, and he towered above the rest as they do. And he was the one who posed the biggest threat to me, so he was the one who focused on next. I wrestled him down and put my same right hand claws, put them through his chest. And then I turned to see the other 3 beginning to run.
Okay, sorry. Before we continue, so you're saying that you dug your claws into the chest of the Cyclops, and you felt that was necessary to defend yourself. You didn't try to get away from the situation, maybe leave the bar, maybe, put yourself out of there instead of, attacking or defending.
They were in between me and the door.
Okay.
I didn't know if they were going to let up after that, and I understand that from the perspective of a human like yourself, it seems irrational to fight and kill like that. But another important thing is, if they're looking at me like that, then I've never seen them before. Are me or my people safe? And I was thinking of my people, and that I need to protect them from people like this who are willing to cause us such harm. But in the moment, I didn't know what the others were doing, and I had to just smash with the Cyclops, in my opinion, as quickly as possible, so I could focus on the rest of the threats. That's why I found it necessary to go for
Alright.
more lethal action.
Yeah, alright. That's fair. You can continue on.
Following the same reasoning of trying to prevent such violence in the future, as the 3 ran, I caught the elf and the little man, and I killed them as well. I believe so, at least. That was my intention.
Yes, I believe that they're dead.
Well, of course, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure whatever happened, it was just a situation that got out of hand.
In the last 15 seconds, Tester Boyarks' body language is more expressive than it is at any other point in his interrogation. First, he leans in while outright stating his intent to kill, showing assertiveness and confidence in his beliefs that what he did was right, while simultaneously challenging the detective to say otherwise. And then, after finding out that his attacks were indeed fatal, he rubs his shoulder, likely in a form of reaction stemming from his sense of warrior pride that he wants to keep hidden from the detective, knowing of the vast cultural differences between them.
Anyway, finally, there was the one last human, I believe, and I cornered him, but looking in his eyes, I saw that he was nothing more than a weasel.
A weasel.
So I decided killing was not something I wished to do.
So why did you decide to kill the other two and spare this weasel? I'm just trying to, see it from your perspective. They're running, they're trying to get away, and you chase after them, you kill them, and then another one that was a part of their group that was attacking you, you then decide to leave him? You go ahead, you explain.
Well, maybe in the heat of the moment, maybe none of them would have been a threat in the future. I didn't know that for sure, but again, from what I saw, he was too much of a coward to be a threat to anyone other than himself.
Alright, so yeah, you did kill those men and you spared the other one, so alright, things are starting to fall into place. Regarding the story, so I just want to, go over it again, just roughly. So you're at the bar, you're sitting there having a drink, all of a sudden your stool gets ripped out from under you, then you get hit with it, then you do what you feel is necessary to defend yourself in the situation. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Alright. And you said that these two men that ran from you, you felt that they were, it was necessary for you to kill them.
Yes, I felt potentially that they could be threats in the future to me or my people. Okay.
And the last individual that you spared, the weasel, in your words, was there any reason that you didn't kill him? I just want to clarify.
Just that I suppose I didn't see him as a threat in the way I did with the others, or maybe by that point I'd calmed down and killing a defenseless human, the actual weight of doing such a thing dawned on me.
Alright, okay. I think that's everything for today. I appreciate you, allowing me to question you, and yeah.
Tesser's story was corroborated by multiple eyewitness accounts. It seemed like, note for note, he told the story exactly as it happened. This case was ample fuel for the fire of the long-held debate on how to handle cases of extreme interspecies violence, with voices arguing for both sides louder than ever before. Tesser was tried for manslaughter and found not guilty on claims of self-defense and the account of the Global Lifestyle Understandings Act. However, he was sued by the families of 3 of his attackers, including the wife of Morgan Wiggis, and fined a total of nearly $70,000.